Hello everyone and welcome back to another wonderful Ponytown news update video. Today we have version 0.76.0. So today we have a very exciting update. I have been waiting for this for a while. I love this update. This update is so amazing and I'm just so glad it's finally here for you all to enjoy and everything like that. So let's just get right into this because you're gonna love this update. This update brings us a new building menu, a new building UI and everything like that. As well, it adds a ton of placeable objects to the house customization, or party island customization, whatever you want to call it. This is actually the most things we've ever gotten for a party island customization thing. This is the most items we've ever gotten in an update. We get every single kind of food that you can think of, everything from cookies to muffins to apples, oranges, bananas, pears, and carrots, though you probably only would want to worry about the banana in that case. But we also get mangoes and lemons and holiday cakes without tables, cake table without cakes. We get cakes and this and that. We get the coconuts, the sea stars, the beach torches, basically all of those new items in the beach update we now have on the building aspect of everything. So if you hop into your party island or whatever like that, you can now place those things that you found in the beach update. Like I said, this includes things like the picnic baskets, the tiki torches, all those wonderful things like that. That's essentially the main thing for this update. They didn't really do much else. They renamed some of the objects. They fixed a couple of bugs, couple of issues here and there, and of course they optimized waiting time and optimized server performance. Those are things that they do basically every single update, so not worried too much about that. Let's get on to this because this is going to take a little bit of explaining on how to work all of this stuff. This GIF up here might be a little bit overwhelming and everything like that, but I'm going to go through the controls, how to mess around with these new mechanics and stuff like that, and show you how much fun you can have with this and what you can do with this. So starting off, let's go ahead and close out of this and hop into the game. Before we do hop into the game though, I must note that you may be already wondering what happened to the Twitter pony icon here at the top. Now this is something that they've debated about for a little bit, and they decided that they're not going to put the Twitter on there constantly. It's not going to be an infinite thing on there. It's essentially going to go away every now and again. The reason why is because they don't want to divert attention away from the Patreon pony and the Patreon overall. So expect the Twitter thing to come back eventually. It's just something they're going to bring back here and there. It's not going to be a permanent thing at any point in time, or at least not anytime soon. So with that out of the way, let's hop into this game. We're going to hop onto the 18+ server, hop into my party island, and show you these new features. There's someone on my island. There's someone on my island. Ah! So now that we're on our party island and it's all cleared out, there's nothing here except the boat, we can now show you this new UI. So if you take a glance here at the bottom left, you will see this little hammer icon down here. If we press that, we get the new building menu, the new building UI and everything like that. So if we click that, it opens up this big menu. But if you're on PC and you have like a keyboard and mouse and everything like that, you can actually press tab to toggle this on and off. So you can press tab and turn it on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, back and forth, back and forth. With this new building UI, we have basically every single item. We can go through the all objects thing, and we can scroll through every single object that's in the game, yada 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 yada, that sort of thing. If you don't want to do that, you can just hit this arrow up here that tells you to go back. You also have an indoor category, an outdoor category, a food and storage category, nature, lights, holiday, and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous being the smallest of the categories, with only a few things in it. So you're probably not ever really going to go to miscellaneous all that much, but it's there if you need it. So these categories are pretty self-explanatory. If you need to find something food related, it will be in the food and storage. So if you click that, it brings you to this thing here where you get a plate because it involves food. Then you get all of the fruits and stuff like that. You get every single kind of cookie that you can think of. We get the star cookies, the pony cookies, the tree cookies, the other tree cookies, things like that. We get muffins, holiday cakes. Then we get the new baskets and stuff like that, from the fruit baskets, apple baskets, muffin baskets, empty picnic baskets, things like that. If you have the unlocked egg baskets and stuff like that, you will have those as well. If you don't have the egg basket unlocked, it shouldn't be appearing in the UI, so that will be another way for you to tell if you have something unlocked, things like that. We have the cookie tables, everything like that. And then we get into the storage part of the food and storage category that has your barrels and your small crates and things like that, and the rope rack for some reason. Actually, why is that in there? Whatever. Then you get a rope rack. If you're looking for a rope rack, it's in food and storage for some reason, because the ropes are actually made of licorice. That's right. You heard it here first. The ropes are actually made of licorice. Who would have thought? So anyway, back to the main thing here. You also have a thing for the hammer. So if you click this little hammer icon here, you will be in the flooring section. So you'll have the option to look at all the floorings at once. Yada 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 yada. We got the new sand. We can actually place sand now. So if I grab that, it will automatically equip the shovel, by the way, if you press something inside that. So I can place this sand here. We don't get the special water that's associated with the sand, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we do get sand now, so we can make some sand paths, or if we're trying to make a beach house or something like that, it will be a lot easier to do that now. In addition, we can also press this little saw icon here. If we click that, we will have these things here. And keep in mind, it will automatically equip the saw for you since you already had a tool out. So we have, our basic wood, plain, stone, and fence that we used to have, but now we have dark fence, rope fence, and dark rope fence. So these rope fences are actually kind of neat. I actually kind of like them. There's definitely going to be some uses for these. Maybe things for like a carnival type thing, those little ticket things that you have, like, I don't know what they're called. I hope you understand what I'm saying, but I'm being stupid right now, so forgive me for that. But they could be used for like a finish line, so if you want just like one there, maybe it's like a little bit of a finish line for you or something like that, so that might be helpful or handy as well. There's definitely things that you're going to be able to do with these. So moving on, we have the gear icon at the bottom of this little thing here on the side. If we press that, we will get more options. For one, we can clear the map and just clear the map completely. It may lag if you have bad internet like me. You can remove the toolbox, or you can add the toolbox. Let's add the toolbox so you can see where it appears. So this toolbox here is here now. This is basically your /restore toolbox and your /remove toolbox command, except associated with a button now. So it's going to be way easier to do if you're trying to mess around with that and everything like that. So let's remove that toolbox. We can reset the map back to its default state. Be sure not to stand where a box is, because that'll be a little bit weird. You can save it and you can load it, different things like that. Very handy here. You can even manage all your maps from here, so you don't really necessarily need the manage maps icon down here in the bottom anymore. You don't really need that action anymore, but keep it if you need it, keep it if you want it. That's up to you. Anyway, we can also add tall walls and things like that to here as well, so we can toggle all of that from here. But we also have a search feature, so if I want to search something like, let's say, red, I need something that's red. I need a red stocking or red carpet. I can find that very quickly by typing in red. If I need a bed, I can type in bed and I'll get that immediately. If I need something like a bush, then I will get all my bushes. Actually, that's odd. Actually, why didn't all the bushes come up? Aren't these called bushes? Oh, this just in, the Ponytown bush is called the large plant. Who would have thought? Petition to rename this, please. Why is it called large plant, small plant? Is there another bush that I'm unaware of in Ponytown? Why is that called the large plant, small plant? That's actually really odd to me. That should just be called a large bush, small bush. Like, all right, hopefully that will be renamed at some point, but that literally just totally threw me for a loop because I had no idea that was a thing. But anyway, you can search for anything like that. Anything you want to search for, you can find it. Let's say you need a torch. You can find your torches, all your different kinds of torches here, and you'll get them. You'll be able to find them, and let's say you don't want to find them. Let's say, oh, I didn't mean to type in that. Let me go back. You can press this back thing right here next to your hammer. Go back. It will bring you back to here. It'll clear your search. It will clear your search and you'll go back. Pretty neat, pretty handy, and pretty good. One more thing about the categorizing and everything like that, I do want to note that some things can appear in more than one category. We have tombstones here, and if we go back, remember, keep in mind this is the outdoor category, so we have tombstones there, and if we go to holiday, you'll actually find tombstones again because of Halloween. And again, we'll find these jack-o'-lanterns, these lit up jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that in the holiday, but if we go back and go to the lights, they will also be in there. So it shouldn't be too difficult for you to end up stumbling upon something that you might need as well. Keep in mind that some things might be in multiple categories, so if you see, for example, the decorated pine in lights, that's not an issue, that's not a mistake, that's intentional. They're trying to keep multiple things in multiple categories because the decorated pine does have lights. In fact, fun fact, lights on a Christmas tree actually light up. They produce light. So anyway, that is it for that, but we also have other features here in this building UI that you need to know about. So we have this little arrow pointing to the left and this arrow rotating to the right, that sort of thing. That is your undo redo. So if I want to undo the decorated pine that I put, I can click that and it will go away. If I want to redo that, I can press this one here and it will come back. In addition, I can press this button here, which is a move objects button. If I press that, it will automatically equip my crowbar. So if I press that, it will automatically equip my crowbar and I can go around moving things. Let's move this house. We're moving the house. We can do different things like that, and it's very handy, very useful. If we find this X, it will automatically equip a brush. So if I press this, it will automatically equip a brush. The X is for deleting, or as this calls it, remove objects. So I can remove the decorated pine or this toy stash or the house. Oh no, my house is gone. It's falling apart. And then we can find this button here. Now this button is very interesting. Let's press it. Let's press it. This one will actually equip the wand automatically for you to allow you to clone objects. So if we press this, it will automatically equip the wand and we can clone this tree. That's right. Who needs homes? We can live in the trees instead. Let's live in the trees. If we equip this little paintbrush here, you guessed it, it will automatically equip the paintbrush, allowing you to change the color of certain things that are capable of being changed color of. I don't have anything on this island currently that's like that, but you know what it does. We all know what the paintbrush does. It changes the color of things. So we also have this thing here called compact mode. It is this little 4-grid little button here. If we press that, it will actually toggle compact mode for the building UI. So if we press that, everything will actually get smaller and the building UI will be crunched up a little bit together so you can see things a lot clearer. This works best for things that, you know, are long and everything like that. It doesn't work very well for like miscellaneous because there's only 5 things in it, but for something like all objects, this greatly reduces the amount of scroll time that you need to find something that you're looking for. So let's say I'm in all objects and I'm looking for something specific and I don't want to go back to another category to find it. Compact mode will help me find that a lot quicker. So that is very helpful and very handy. And again, you can toggle this on and off and on and off as much as you want. There's no repercussions for that whatsoever. So in addition to all of those things, actually, let me do this like this. In addition to all of those things, I do want to point out one last thing that I did actually forget to mention until just now. There's this thing right here for everything that you can change the color of, like this picture frame here, for example, or this potted plant, something like that. If I can change the color of it, obviously I can press space on my keyboard to change the color of it right now, and it will actually change in the UI. But if I don't know all my color options, or if I want to explore those color options without, you know, pressing spacebar or equipping the paintbrush to do that, I can actually click this paintbrush in the top left of that item. Once I click that, it will actually bring up all the color variants for this specific item. So I can go quickly to the black one, or quickly to the pink one, or quickly to the orange and yellow one if I want to. Though I recommend using the yellow one because bananas. Once you do that, you can actually press the go back again, and it will go back and you'll be back to your main menu, or your main UI menu, where you have all these options again. So that is just a little thing there that I almost forgot to mention, but I'm so glad I did. Okay, so there was a quick thing that I actually did forget to mention. This thing is overwhelming and I got really excited, but we have a other thing on this building UI that I failed to mention earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and mention now. You see this number over here that says 513 out of 650. This is actually how many items, how many objects I've placed so far on this specific island in this case. You can actually hover over it and it will tell you what it means. Same thing with the, not the flooring, but the walls. If I go over to the wall tab and look at this, I have 181 out of 550 walls placed. This is your wall limit and your object limit. If you're a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 Patreon supporter, you can actually increase this limit greater and greater. Obviously, the more money you pay on Patreon, the higher this limit will go, and everything like that. So I failed to mention that. I also failed to mention this one little detail about this little thing that actually kind of irritates me a little bit. It just bothers me. So let's go ahead and clear the house, or I mean clear the map in this case. So now, as you can see, this entire island is clear except this boat here. This boat obviously can't be deleted, it can't be removed, because it is the party boat. It is how you get back and forth between the main island and your party island. But You may notice that this counter is already at 1 of 650 objects placed. To me, this personally is unfair to the player. I get 649 slots for my house because this thing here cannot be removed. And I personally think that's a little bit unfair to the player. Sure, it's only one item, but let's say I'm working on something and I need specifically all 650 of those objects, or even less if you're, you know, not a Patreon supporter like I am. This is going to end up being a bother to you. This is going to end up being an issue to you, potentially. And I just think it's a little bit unfair that, you know, we have to count that in the official count. So for example, if I place this table here, it goes to 2, so that proves that yes, indeed, this little boat here does count to your limit. And I personally think that's unfair, in my own opinion. With all of that out of the way, I do want to kind of cool down a little bit and kind of talk about all of these wonderful new items that we got. We have a ton of new items. We've gotten more items in this update than I think we've ever gotten before. Now, I could be wrong about that, but we've gotten a ton of items here. So we have a small table now, or a new small table 2. It's essentially the cookie table, the muffin table, whatever you want to call it, except it doesn't have the muffins and that stuff like that on top of it. So that's really handy, and that's really good if you need like a specific, like if you want a cookie table that makes it look like all the cookies were taken, then you can slap a couple of these down and you'll be good to go. In addition, we also have new food items in this sense of like, hey, we have every kind of food like I mentioned before. We also have this plate, which I think is very interesting. I can't wait to see what people do with the plates, because I feel like there's definitely some very creative opportunities with this plate, because it is very small and very circular. I just imagine all kinds of cool things with that. We also have, like I said, all the types of cookies, which include the pony cookie, which I imagine a lot of people will be using for tiny little dioramas and stuff like that. So maybe you want to circle, you know, this little lantern over here with like these little cookie ponies or whatever like that. Maybe they're worshiping it. Also, that went underneath this flower, and I didn't think it would do that. Or try not to put your cookies under flowers, because we're supposed to eat those, not that. So you can actually circle a little lantern with these cookies, and it'll be a little miniature ponies worshiping a giant lantern or something like that. And that might be a fun idea. And again, you can explore with these ideas and do whatever you want with them, but there is a lot of things here. I want you to explore these yourself, but keep in mind that, you know, we got like basically there's nothing necessarily new that we haven't seen before. Everything that's in this building UI is stuff that we've seen on the main island and everything like that. So, and we can actually equip this. We can actually, you know, mess around with this actual thing here, and that's fine. We can actually interact with the rope and everything like that. So anyway, that I think is going to do it for the video. I do hope that you enjoyed. I do hope that you learned something here. I hope you enjoyed. If you learned something here, if you want to keep up to date with Ponytown news and everything like that, please do like, subscribe, and share and stuff like that, because I make Ponytown updates videos every single time there's an update, and today was a really nice, really big one, really exciting one. So anyway, like I said, that's finally going to do it for the video. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and do all of those wonderful things, because when you do those wonderful things, you get access to wonderful content such as this. But that's not all you're going to get. That's not all you get. You also get to become wonderful yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.